CEOs report that the biggest challenge they have is how to avoid waste and risk when it comes to marketing spending. Be honest, you can rattle off the list of marketing programs and initiatives that have not delivered on your expectations. So now you're hesitant. Should I bother with marketing at all for my mid-sized company? I feel terrible about this because guess what? I really believe in marketing. I think it has a job to do, and I expect it to do the job it should. If you're a CEO who's sometimes second-guessing your in-house marketing teams or even your outsourced marketing service providers, make sure you see the link below at the bottom of this video. This link will take you to a marketing strategy training that you can do yourself, you can share with your teams. Let's make sure your marketing teams are aligned with the strategies that you need for growth. Today, I want to give you 3 simple solutions for turning off the spigot of random acts of marketing. My hope for you is it will give you a place to start before you hire another marketing services specialist or a consultant for your business. Let's start here. Solution 1, look inside your own company. I am sure there are things that you already have in place that you can use to jumpstart your marketing before you put your credit card down and start spending money on paid search or advertising or even conferences. Do you have an existing database of prospects who you've actually ignored for the last year because you're so busy trying to acquire new leads in your database? Are there prospects in your Salesforce's pipeline that aren't ready to buy now? And your sales team, of course, is very focused on who is going to buy now. So now these people are in a holding pattern. They're in the purgatory of leads. Nothing's happening with them. They're not being nurtured, but they're yours. Are there LinkedIn connections you have that you just haven't nurtured consistently, or your team hasn't reached out to bring into a webinar or an event sponsored by your company? Here's an example of how looking inside your own house for opportunity is a great place to start. An $8 million company had a 9,000 person database, 9,000 records in their database accumulated over time through the sales team, through referrals, through recommendations, through some paid advertising. But what happened? Nobody was talking to this universe of people because, well, they'd already come through the sales process, and sales might have already had a conversation with them, or we've already sent them our email newsletter. But there was more opportunity. We created a 10-minute video, PowerPoint, and the VP of sales on Zoom with a highly relevant message to this consumer base, and we sent it out to 9,000 people as part of a 6-email sales campaign. No ad spend, no fancy production. So here are the results. In 1 quarter, 12 weeks, the sales team was able to add 18% more deals to their pipeline in 12 weeks than in the previous 52 weeks. They were able to re-engage these folks and jumpstart new conversations from a database that was theirs. So if solution 1 is use what you already have in-house, solution 2 is focus on one particular point along the buyer journey. So you know what the buyer journey is. You're going to move from awareness to consideration to nurturing to a sale to advocacy. Well, if you try to do all of that with a limited marketing budget, you're not going to do any one thing well. So let's pick one moment on the buyer journey, maybe the nurture journey. And like in this last example, we just picked nurture. We're going to nurture our existing database for 6 months and see what we can make out of those relationships. What many CEOs do is they send their marketing and sales teams out to generate awareness, get me more leads, drive traffic at the tippy top of the funnel. I just want to note that generating awareness is the most time-consuming and expensive part of the buyer journey. That's why it's so valuable. But we have to ask ourselves, is this the right place to focus on today in our growth plan based on the money we have to spend to support it? So speaking of nurture, I have an entire training on how to build a nurture campaign to make the most out of your existing database. Make sure you click the button and take a look at that training as well. Okay, so the third solution is simplify your message and repeat it often. I like to say that repetition is the most underutilized tactic in marketing. Often we think we need to get a new message and a new story out there every day to keep people engaged with our brand. But here's a news flash. Nobody cares about our brands. They only care about what is going to work for them and for their business and for their goals. In fact, LinkedIn is probably only showing your content to 20% of the people you're connected with. And even if you have a database of people who love you, about 25 to 35% are going to open an email that you send them because they have other things to do with their time. So create a customer-centric story that you can tell. Tell it in email, tell it on your LinkedIn profile, tell it in your collateral material. Make sure it's about the customer. Keep it consistent. Say the same thing over and over again, because once you've identified the real value that you deliver to your customer, that is what they want to hear, and we need to make sure they hear it by repeating it over and over and over again to make sure that message gets to everyone who needs to hear it. So creating a simplified message is no easy task. We need to really focus on what matters most to the customer and be able to deliver our value in a way that isn't about us. It's not about our products or our features. It's about the customer need and the value we provide. No easy task, for sure. In fact, in the lab, we dedicated an entire module on getting to that value in your messaging. But once you do, this needs to be repeated in your LinkedIn profile. It needs to be repeated in your collateral material. Your sales team needs to tell the same message over and over again. This way, everybody is hearing a consistent voice from your company, and those who are not opening your email today may open it tomorrow and be able to hear how you provide value to them. So to review, look inside your company and see what you already have before you spend money on people or assets or media. We are sure that you have something inside your company that you can use in marketing today. Number 2, pick a single moment along the buyer journey and dedicate your resources to it so you can do it well. And number 3, simplify your message and repeat it often. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you'll be notified when the next training becomes available for you. We'll see you soon.